Okay, today we're talking about how to do barrels, how to shoot them, how to blow them up, how to have them stop you in your tracks. I'm going to show you how to collect health, and there's going to be a game over screen that pops up when you die. Alright, so let me show you real quick and then I will dive into this and show you the code. Play this. Alright, so let me take off the brightness there. Alright, so basically you're going in the game here, change the sequence of the walls here a little bit. So you hit it, it blows up, and you lose your health down there at the bottom. Then you come in contact with the health, and you gain health. And there's a little bit of sound here that let's see. Should be more health here. There you go. And the health rotates when you rotate your body, see? Changes direction to make it look 3D. Alright, so then if I kill myself here, I might have already destroyed all the barrels. Let me exit out and I'll go back into it real quick. I'm trying to show you what happens when I die here. So it's killing me at 20% each time I hit it. And then there's a game over screen. Alright. And actually, it should say game over in the next room, but I think the reason why it doesn't show up is because I don't have light in the room. It shows game over there. Must have something to do with the lighting in the room. I may have to put some kind of object in there, like the object hands, but make it transparent, or the player object may have to be in the room. Not sure what's going on with that part. If I make the Alright, let me just talk about this one thing here and then I'll see if I can fix the game over part. Alright, so you got an object here called object barrel, and it's going to have two images, image 0 and image 1. The reason why there's two red images here is this animates. The object barrel, which is static, there is a little bit of an animation that happens with the liquid above the barrel that animates, and so you need two images here so it does it keeps jumping back and forth from one image to the next. Each image has a little bit of subtle animation that happens, and there needs to be two images in here for that effect to happen. And the origin's at X is at 7, Y is at 7. Puts in the crosshairs here so you can put it evenly in the room. So here is the room, kind of changed a little bit. The red represents the red barrel where it's going to be located at. The pink is going to be the health box. Let me talk about the barrel first here. So the static barrel is just going to animate, and when you go up against it, it's going to keep you from moving any further in the game until you hit it and destroy it. So I went to the crate tab, grabbed a crate, then went to the control tab and grabbed a variable here. Variable states image underscore speed. The value is going to be 0.1. So this variable needs to be in here, so I believe what happens is it makes it animate, makes it keep jumping from one image to the next as a static image. So I think that's what this variable does. It makes it keep animating from one image to the next, because it has two images, image 0 and image 1. Each one is going to show some subtle animation that's going to happen with the liquid above the barrel that animates. So this helps it animate. Then you're going to have a destroy tab. Open your add event, get a destroy, then grab control sheet from the control tab, and it's going to state instance underscore create parentheses X and Y object barrel explode. So if you hit it, it's going to switch to this barrel explosion, and then it's going to disappear. Then grab a draw from the add event coded sheet, and it's going to state that if point underscore distance X and Y global camera, so if you're moving, the camera is moving toward the barrel, it's basically going to, it's pretty much stating that it's going to, you're going to bump up against it, but you're not going to actually go through it. Also, it detects if you're rotating around the barrel, the barrel is going to switch view, so it's going to look like it's 3D, but in reality it's not. So it's the same kind of effect that you give the plant in the game. You rotate your body, and it's going to change direction here. So what's happening here is that you're moving, and the barrel's going to switch in a different direction. And it's also going to prevent you from going through the barrel. This number right here is going to tell you how long. It pretty much stretches the image out to how long you want the image to be. So I kept mine at 12. You can change this number to 6 or 30, and you can see a difference in size of the image. Everything else I keep the same. The depth's at -10, and then you want to pair it with the object wall basics, so it has the same attributes as what the wall is, so it makes you not go through the wall. And also it's going to this red square is going to project this text underscore barrel, so the text underscore barrel is going to be the image in the sprints and under the file textures, so it's going to grab this text barrel image right here, and see when you press the arrow button it shows a little variation of animation happening, and that's what's going to happen until you hit it and destroy it. It's going to show that subtle animation. Origin's at 0, Y is at 0. Modified mask is at precise. Sorry about this. We got a cat going around. He's meowing. Alright, so now the second barrel is the explosion, so once you hit it, it's going to jump to the second barrel, which does explode. This barrel red box, which you don't put in the room, you put the object barrel in the room, not the barrel explosion part. But this one has image 0, 1, I mean 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So all these images here show some kind of animation that happens. The first one, it's a subtle, it starts to explode, and then up to the image 4, which does not show an image at all. It's clear and invisible. So it's going to do this. It's going to do this effect right here. It's going to show the explosion, and then it's going to go to this fade here, this fade, and then disappear. And this image is smaller than the barrel one, but somehow it stretches this image out so it matches this big barrel right here. See, the width is at 359, height is 499. But the barrel explosion is only at 64. But for some reason, when you do the game, when you play the game, it stretches the image out to the size of the barrel for some reason, which is good. It's a good sign. But I do think you lose some of the quality though. So that's only a drawback. This image I got from downloading the Doom example, and then the barrel one I got from Google. I just Googled it and found a GIF of the barrel which was high quality, and I imported it in. I didn't bother reducing the image size, but for some reason this image right here stretches out to the large quality image one, but I think it does lose some quality, but it really doesn't matter because it's an explosion. It needs to be kind of blurred a little bit. Okay, so then what happens here is when I do an add event, put a crate up there, then I went to the main 1 tab, dragged over a play sound effect, so it's going to explode, loop it, false, so it's not going to keep looping. Then in the control tab, bring over a coded sheet, and then it's going to say health minus equals 20 semicolon. So this is I'm going to lose 20% health, and make sure that you set it to object hand. So because you have object hand in the game, your object hand is linked with your health bar for your player object. So do not set this to object player. You want to set it to object hands, because the object hands, in the code for the object hands, you have your health bar. So that's what needs to happen here. If you put it to object player, it's not going to drop your percentage at all, your health percentage. You got to make sure it's under object hands, because your code for your health bar is in with your object hands, so it's going to affect that part. Let me see what happens when I change it to object player. I just want to see. I'm curious what's going to happen here. I don't think it does anything. Okay, it does destroy your health bar, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Well, you know what? It does matter, because what's going to happen is when you later down the road, when I add a gun in there and if I shoot it from a distance, it's going to destroy my health on my object player. So you don't want that. You want it to set it to object hands, so that way once you you want to set it to object hands, because what's going to happen is when you grab the gun and shoot it, it's going to destroy your health bar from a distance, and you don't want that to happen. So you want to set it to object hands, so it only affects the hands of that image versus the gun, because the gun's going to be projected later down the road, and if you shoot it from a distance and you have it set to object player, it's going to destroy your health from a distance, and you don't want that to happen because you're away from it. Why would it kill your life? So you want to set it to object hands. And when you do the gun, it should be set to object player. Because, I mean, if you think about it, you have a small weapon and you have to be really close to hit the barrel, and if you're that close, you're going to get hit. But if you have a weapon and you shoot it from a distance, then you don't want your life to be destroyed because you're at a distance, so it shouldn't affect you. So that's how I'm thinking here with the logic. Okay, so now the variable for this is set to image underscore speed. Value is 0.2, so it's going to continue to animate through all those 4 images I was talking about until it's destroyed. And that's how this then you grab a animation ending, add event, go to the other, grab the animation ending here. So once it's destroyed, once you hit it, it's going to do an animation ending and it's going to destroy self. Then in the draw event, this is the code you need for this, and it's going to have it scaled up to 24 here. So that's probably why it looks large on screen. That little image of this explosion is scaled up to 24. So that's probably why it looks large on screen, because it's scaled up to 24. And you have the alpha in here, which is going to make the fade effect happen. And then it's going to show the explosion. It grabs the text barrel explosion image from the sprints in the texture folder, and then if you move around it, the image is going to move with the camera, so it looks like it's 3D. Depth at -10, and you do have to set it to object wall basics, so it takes one of those attributes. Then with the health box, set it to 7.7 with the origin, crosshairs there in the middle. There's not going to be any animation with the health box, so it's just one image. Grab a crate. You do have a variable in there. Set the value to 0.1. I don't know why this variable is in here, because it doesn't animate, but it was in the original Game Maker Doom example, so I just left it in there. It may have something to do with rotating It may have something to do with when you rotate the camera view, it rotates with it, and maybe that's why the variable is in there for it, but I'm not sure. Just left it in there. And then object player, when you bump up against the health box, it's going to play a sound that you gained health, and it's going. I set it to 20% relative. Got that from the score tab. Then you're going to. It's going to destroy self. It's going to destroy the health box. Then draw it. It draws it. It grabs the texture health box. The size of it is a 7. And it's going to rotate with the camera, so it's going to look 3D. And the texture file, this is how it looks. The health package. Set it to precise. Same thing with the barrel, it's precise. Alright, and the game over, it's just one sprint here. Put it in a room by itself. And I wanted to see something real quick. Go back to this barrel thing. Oh, and I also added this object monster basics, which is just, I just called it object monster basics, and then it's going to collide with a wall, and it's going to do this code right here. I don't have the monster in there yet, but it will be in there. But I found out without this code, the game gave me threw me an error, so I have to put this code in here. And it's just basically talking about how the monster is going to move in the room when it hits the wall and stuff like that. But I will talk more in depth with that later on. Also, I had to put a object plant basics in there, so it just object plant basics visible. It's set to object wall basics. Needed that code in there so this game will work properly, because it had something to do with the barrel. No, actually it had something to do with the hands when you click on a button. So I made all this code visible. When I talked about this in previous video, this was graded out, but the object plant basic somehow this is linked with the barrel and the door, so all this had to be not graded out, as well as the monster. This had to be graded, not graded out too, so that didn't throw an error. And I will talk about more about the monster in the next video. But I would throw an error when I click on the button on the mouse, so I just made this visible for right now. And this object monster basics is tied to the object information in the object folder, the code for that, as well as the code for the plant. Alright, and why it's not showing up in the next room. Alright, let me make the hand, let me make this, let's see, when he gets closer to our cat's whining, so no, don't mind that. He just wants some attention. Alright, so if I put the hands in the room, alright, I want to see if it shows some light in the room. Yeah, I'm not sure why I'll have to figure that out later on, and why it's not showing the game, the game engine is kind of weird why it's not showing that. It should show up, but it's not. It has something to do with the lighting, I think. May have to have like this text right here. Copy this. Grayed out the health bar because you have nothing. Has something to do with lighting, I believe. It's causing a problem. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not coming up. I'll have to find out what's going on with that part. But it's not showing the game over. It is, if you first initiate the game, it will show up, but when you die, it's not showing it. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to find out why that's not working. Okay, I will try to figure out why that's not working there, but until then, thanks for watching, and I will put another video up there for fake first-person shooter later down the road. Thanks for watching.